What's up? I'm Bruce, and we're excited because today we're going to show you the inside of our tiny home, nomadic home. We call it a nomadic home, but you're probably more familiar with the term tiny home. But it's also exciting, not just because we're going to show you this finally, but because the sun is finally cooperating with us, and today will be day 7 of just making like all of our power with solar panels, because we live off grid, and January was like the sun was just low. It's behind the trees. We'll get into that whole nother video. I can go off on tangents. I'm gonna try not to though. I'm gonna try to stay focused and get you guys through this. But before we do, one other thing that I want to tell you about is that we've embraced this like totally untraditional lifestyle and just trying all kinds of cool things to put out there to everybody, let you know what's worked, what hasn't. And so we have right here our outdoor space. That is, if I had to put a rough percentage on it, I would go with like, I don't know, 82.7% complete. But we're excited for it. It's gonna have outdoor kitchen. We have our counters in and our cabinets. We just have a few other things to do, but it's almost, I mean, it's been chill ready. We've been hanging out in there. We've started cooking in there, and we love it. So that we're excited about. Right here, we have our shed conversion. So this was originally built for us to travel in, not live full time in. It's 144 square feet. So to put a family of 5 in that full time, we're all about some alternative stuff and like trying to find new ways, but bro, that would be tough. Not saying it's not doable, but it'd be tough. So our solution to that was outdoor living space, plus our shed conversion. This is where we primarily sleep and like watch TV together or something like that. And then we have another space that houses our off-grid power system. We're gonna go over that one too. But this is the focus of today. This is our 8.5 by 18 foot nomadic home that we built. We like to say it's like a cross between a tiny home and an RV, a camper. So if you were to take what we see as some of the best components of an RV, the portability and the ease of travel, and you were to marry that to the best components that we see with a tiny home, which is the quality of the build and just like the general appearance and aesthetic of it, and you put those two together, that's what we have here. This thing's easy to travel in. We've pulled it over 25,000 miles. I lived in it 3 months full time as I was getting out of the military, literally parked it at work inside of one of our loadout bays, lived in this thing 3 months as we were transitioning out of the military, and now we do live in it full time. We just don't sleep in it full time. It's used for showers, cooking, hanging out, that kind of thing. And then we're hoping to pull it around a little bit in the future. So let's dive into it. In a separate video, we'll hit the exterior. So if there's any specific questions you have about the exterior and things that'll go on out here as far as hookups and things like that, let me know in the comments and we'll address that in another video. But for the interior, we'll start with this beautiful wall of places we've been. And so we love this because each one of these stickers has a story. People love looking at it. Our kids love coming back and checking them out. And it just brings back memories of all kinds of things. So that's why we love that. And then right down here, we have this large storage drawer coming on in. So this drawer, I can't remember right off the top of my head. I want to say it's like 4 feet deep, 3.5 feet deep, something like that. But it's awesome because it is huge. We can put a whole bunch of shoes or all kinds of random stuff in there. And then it just pushes right back into the floor. The whole floor, you'll notice, is built up because we have a lot of our systems and everything running under that. So for instance, we have a 3-stage water filter built into the floor. We have a lot of wires and plumbing running in the floor and things like that. But the water filter is actually accessed from the bottom to change all those filters. And we'll dive more into that soon. So come on in. First stop is our like drop area. So when we're traveling, we have a little dog, Scooby-Doo, that we bring with us. He goes right down here. So that's where all of his stuff is. That's where he gets to sleep, and he loves it. It's just like his own little nook right down there. This is obviously a shelf where we can just throw anything when we're traveling. Right now, holds most of our toiletries for day to day, keeping it out of the way. Hooks to hang our towels right now. Knock that toothbrush over. Sorry, whoever that is. And then, you know, when we are traveling, though, this will hold coats, rain jackets, backpacks, whatever we need to put up there. Moving in, we have a bathroom, which we'll get to in a second. First, we're going to talk about this fridge and our appliances that we have in here. So, Dometic 10 cubic foot fridge, I believe it is. This is a 12 volt only. I'll tell you right now, we love it because we've rented RVs and used RVs in the past that use the 120 volt slash propane appliance refrigerator, and I hate them. If you've used them, you probably know like they don't do a fantastic job of keeping the food cool and things like that. I don't know. I'm just not. We'll go over pros and cons with this in another video, but right now you can just look at it and see like it's awesome. We love it. Plenty of space in there. Uses a different technology, and it's just worked well for us. We've had it a little over 4 years because we originally put it in here when we built this, and it's worked great for us ever since then. Knock on wood. Please don't break now. Right above it, we just have a little cabinet for whatever. It's been on the to-do list for a while to change this to a different style to keep the bathroom door from slamming into here. But with it right there, you can't open this all the way, but that's okay. Minor details. You can still put tons of stuff in here and it's great. Right here, this is what catches everybody's eye and they love it. We love it. It looks cool. I'm going to be honest with you. We don't use it nearly as much as we thought we would. It's a propane appliance. It's cool for that. You can heat up a pizza in there, you know, cook some fries or bake a ham, whatever you want to do. And then we have 4 propane burners up top here, which also work fine. But honestly, what we found is it's just easier. We have a convection oven that does everything that that would, but we don't have to refill propane as often. And then we also have an induction burner cooktop that we love as well. It's phenomenal. Quickly heats the water. Doesn't have an open flame. There's no moisture byproduct from the propane combustion and all. So honestly, like we do still use it, but not as much as we use the other things. So it looks beautiful though. Hope you guys like it. Yeah, it definitely catches everybody's attention when they first walk in. So that's cool. Up here, so all these cabinets are custom. We built all these for the space, designed them for this, and we were thankful they turned out as well as they did. They're very sturdy. They're all oak boxes, 1/2 inch boxes, and then 3/4 inch for the face frames and the doors. So they've held up great. So we'll put like dry goods up there, maybe dishes, things like that. We keep all our spices and everything up here, and then more dishes and just dry goods like peanut butter and things like that up there. Nice deep workstation sink. It did come with a cutting board and colander. The colander is extremely useful if you want to put cleaning supplies in it, and it probably also works well as a colander too, but we don't know because it accidentally just got repurposed into holding all of our cleaning supplies right from the beginning, and we've never changed it. So that's what that does. But under the sink is just your typical under the kitchen sink. You deal with some plumbing and stuff like that, and we'll throw trash bags or whatever other odds and ends and cleaning supplies in there. But the sink has been solid. Love it. It gives us enough space to wash dishes and everything like that. No issues. And then we dry them. A little bit of counter space. This guy. Oh man, we have a love-hate relationship with this because as I mentioned before, we do have a 3-stage water filtration system in the floor that takes any of the onboard water or city water hookup. So like if you're hooked up to a well or a friend's house or campground, whatever, takes that water, or if you fill your water tank up before you leave home or from a friend's house or whatever, it passes both of those through that filtration system before it ever comes out of the faucet or the shower. And we love that because I think it takes it down to like 0.5 or maybe it's 0.02 microns or something, which is really small. The last filter is a virus guard, supposed to filter out most viruses. But we just prefer the taste of the water out of an RO filter. So this is an RO filter. It was in addition after we did this whole thing. It also will add back some minerals, plus it does instant hot water, and it'll also do cool water. So if you wanted to make coffee or something like that, or it's the dead of summer and you just want some like really cool water, but the water coming from whatever hookup you have is kind of warm, this thing's awesome. However, obviously we don't have a ton of counter space, so you got to forfeit some of that with this. So, spoiler alert, future build, we're going to be putting an RO under the sink filter in our next one so that we have like on-demand RO filtered water without sacrificing counter space. And we really don't use a lot of that cabinet under the sink, so I don't think that space will be missed, and we're excited about that. Moving on, this is a false drawer, just like most kitchens, but this is a real drawer. So we built this, tons of space in here. When I say tons of space, if you're living in a normal home, you're probably like, you only have one drawer. That's not a ton of space. But for us, it's a ton of space because we're not living in a normal home. So it holds our silverware and all of this other stuff that we have. But what's cool for us is this is the only drawer that we can kind of junk up. And if you do live in a traditional home, you have like 15 drawers that you can junk up, which means a lot of junk. So cabinet under here has our tankless hot water heater in it. It's made by Precision Temp, and I'm happy to do a video on this as well if anyone is interested. This is a non-sidewall penetrating unit, which means from the exterior you don't see the unit like you would on a traditional camper or tiny home or something where it vents out the side. It vents underneath, and there's exhaust just pushing those fumes away from it. So it's really cool because it keeps like that stealth appearance for our home when we're traveling. Tons of people have like looked at me at the gas station and been like, is that what I think it is? And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know what you think it is, but probably. And yeah, we live in there. So that's what that is. We'll put like, right now there's a popcorn maker. If we're traveling, we'll throw like an air fryer or whatever else under there just to have some cooking options. Moving on, we'll move on to our bed because we love this. This is one of the big reasons why we decided to build versus buy, is because I'm sorry, should have done that, leaned into it. You can lock that so you don't do that. We decided to build versus buy because almost everything we found to buy, it either, one, it comes with a really terrible mattress, or two, they've put a mattress in there that it doesn't fit the space. They design most RVs and stuff like that to take like a very thin, crappy mattress. Man, I'm sorry about that. To take a very thin, really bad mattress. And one big thing for us is sleep hygiene, being well rested, and feeling good, especially when you're traveling. Last thing you want to do is take a trip, spend all this time and energy planning it and going on it, only to get to where you're going and get a terrible night's sleep. So this is actually a 12-inch Tempur-Pedic mattress. We love it. It's super comfortable. It used to live down there and our kids slept on it. We have an avocado green mattress that we love. It is in our shed conversion. That's what we sleep on every single night. And then we moved this one up here in case anyone visits us and they want to sleep here, because like I said, we don't all sleep in here anymore. So they have an awesome bed to come visit us on. Pretty cool. We do that for our guests. We don't buy that cheap, like, you know, crappy mattress and then be like, here you go, thanks for coming to visit, hope you have a terrible night's sleep. Just kidding. We have some book lights up here, which they're cool for reading at night. These are also super handy because since we're a family of 5 and we'd stay in here all together, like, you know, our kids would go to bed earlier than we would, and we wouldn't want all the lights on, so we'd turn those on. They're super convenient. They also have like a little night light function that's the first tap, so if you hear somebody get up in the middle of the night, you can hit that and not blast white light everywhere. We have a hidden smoke detector back here, which is nice because for safety, we have that one built in. We have one in the front, but we also have fire extinguisher in this back corner and by the door. Why? Because it's a small space, and if there's a fire in the middle of the night, or when you're, well, not just in the middle of the night, if there's ever a fire, you'd like to be able to get to a fire extinguisher, right? So idea behind that is, if we wake up in the middle of the night and smell smoke, easily accessible fire extinguisher to hit that while we all get the heck out of here. Or if we're traveling somewhere and notice smoke coming from it, we can just open the door, grab the fire extinguisher, and try to put that bad boy out and kill it. So these are the cabinets that my wife and I would use whenever we were traveling in here full time. She would get one, I would get one, and basically whatever you can fit in there is what you bring. And then before we keep progressing this way, I'll talk about this space a little bit. So this is where our kids slept. Now, since we don't live in here full time, or stay in here full time, like sleeping, we removed the mattress so that way we could use it for additional storage and everything. We do have plates and our induction cooktop thing right here that we'll pull out, crock pot, my wife's blow dryer. So we just kind of use this as a little overflow. A few extra plates. I have a sweet light that my kids broke the cover to because they were kids. And then here is their cabinets. So when we would travel, the rule of thumb was like, hey man, if you can fit it in your cabinet, you can bring it. With that being said, you definitely have to remember to pack clothes. So they'd have to have their clothes. And then once they did, if they wanted to bring like a little Lego or stuffed animal or whatever, they could throw that in their cabinet with them and bring that. But it was nice. Mattress would kind of come to like right at the bottom of these, so it was really cool. The kids felt awesome down here. They were in their own little hideout. Sometimes they'd hang up a blanket or something, and it was just like their little fun cave. We'll get into the power later, but just so you see it now, this is our 12 volt 3000 watt inverter by Victron Energy. I love this. I can't tell you how many positive things I have to say about Victron, so we'll get into that at another time. Something that you can't see very well, but I can show you, is there is a little storage area down here, and this storage area will go all the way up to about right here. Okay, so it's about 5 feet deep and is about as wide as this, but it's just cool because it allows us a little in the floor storage. So when we were traveling or anything like that, what we can do is drop the ramp, get a great view of whatever's outside. And then also if we needed to, we could slide the bed out, lay on the bed outside, but also get to that. So if there's something that you wanted to throw under there that you didn't need to get to all the time, super convenient place to put it. So, you guys ready to move on to this section? I know you are. We have some overhead cabinets right here. These were great for storing odds and ends, toilet paper, paper towels, extra beach towels, board games, paper plates, whatever, you know, just extra storage. In a tiny space, you can never have too much storage, I would say, but that also applies to normal homes as well, right? Everybody loves storage, and to be able to just like stick their stuff somewhere that it looks nice. So then under that, we have this nice window that we could eat beside. We have this table, can't remember the exact dimensions of it. I wanna say it's about 3 feet wide by 39 deep. And the reason why we built it that way is these bench seats, this converts just like you've seen in a lot of RVs and stuff, this will convert into a bed. And when it does, it is a twin extra large size. So we built that in mind with like if we had larger people or one of us needed to sleep there or an adult. It's 80 inches long, so it's the same length as a queen bed, so you're not running out of room as you grow. With that being said, our kids are getting a lot bigger now, so that's fun, but they can still fit on this. So you can put one person here, 2 people under there, and 2 people up here, and easily sleep 5 in here, and yeah, ride out and have a good time. In this bench seat is where we housed all of our electronics. They're currently not in there because we took them out to like recharge the batteries and everything, and we're currently trying to decide if we want to leave the electronics in here or repurpose them for other stuff, because right now this primarily is stationary and we have it set up to where it's plugged into shore power all the time. And I say that like that because we're off grid, so this is just being run by our much larger battery system that's right across from this, so it's just plugged into that full time. But we had 300 amp hours of Battleborn batteries in here. We have 1200 watts of solar on the roof, so 6 200 watt panels. I already showed you the 3000 watt Victron inverter that we had. Love it. That thing has done a great job for us. Same thing with the batteries and everything. With that being said, we'll talk about this for a second. So this is our AC unit slash heater. It's not the original one that was on there when we first started. We had a Dometic 15K BTU, and it did an amazing job cooling the space. However, anyone that has a direct dump or has been in an RV with a direct dump roof mount, they are loud and extremely power hungry. It did have a soft start on it, so we could run it off grid without being plugged in, just off of the batteries. If it were nighttime or cloudy, we could get about 2.5 hours of running the AC on just the batteries. So that was pretty cool. If it were daytime and we were at the beach or had any type of sunlight and we were making decent solar, we could extend that to about 7.5 to 8 hours of running the AC without turning the batteries on, so, or without plugging in. So that was really cool. As soon as we plugged in, it was fine. Like, we were good. This AC is a little more efficient in its power consumption, and it's definitely quieter. It's not like silent, like a mini split, but you can watch a movie in here now without headphones. The Dometic, you couldn't hear anything. So we either had to plug in a Bluetooth speaker and blast it, or we had to make do without AC while watching a movie as a family. Speaking of watching movies as a family, there is no TV in here. So what we would do is we would set up a projector right here and blast it onto a screen that we would hang across these cabinets, and it was awesome. Kids would pile under here. We would sit in the bed, put some pillows on the back there. Some kids might even join us. We would turn this into a bed, and everybody would just make themselves comfortable and have an awesome movie night, like wherever we were. It's cool. So yeah, that covers that bench seat. This bench seat, we have a built-in door on the front of it, and we would just use that for anything extra. So 9 times out of 10, it would catch our laundry or anything that didn't need to go in another cabinet. So like I said, most of the time it would catch dirty clothes. So anything that we'd have that we didn't want to necessarily like not have with our dirty clothes, we would put it in there, or vice versa. Anything we didn't care if it was with our dirty clothes, we'd put it in there. Under this bed right here is a 66-gallon freshwater tank. So that holds our onboard water when we're traveling. So if we wanted to hook up today and leave to go to Florida or wherever, we would fill up with like 66 gallons of fresh water. We purposely tried to put it like over the axles to help with the weight, but it would hold that. The sink has a 23-gallon gray water tank built in the floor under it. So it maintains all of its own water, which is cool because you don't have to worry about washing dishes and then not being able to take a shower because it's full, and vice versa. So yeah, that does the water tanks. Like I said, the filter's down there. Water pump is also down there. So let's talk about the bathroom. Let me switch places with my camera lady, which is also my wife, so that's kind of cool. Like working with her. So, welcome to the bathroom. Everybody wants to know about off-grid bathroom stuff. Like, what do you do? Well, we have an incinerator toilet. So far, again, knock on wood, because we're not looking for any more challenges. So far, it's been phenomenal for us. I know that there have been some, we've read some things, and we're just hoping that we don't ever experience any of those issues. So again, knock on wood. But now we have an incinerator toilet. When we first started off, we had the traditional black tank RV style toilet in here, and we hated it, honestly. I mean, as far as sitting on the toilet and doing your business, it worked fine that way, but it really sucks having to dump the black tank, having to find a place to dump the black tank. We like to be responsible people and not nasty people. I know some people do things they shouldn't with their black tank, but we always found a dump site to properly dispose of our waste. And so that can be challenging when you're traveling and you just want to have fun, but you're literally hauling around all your poop with you. So that's nasty. And then there's like just all the added things that go along with it. You got to clean it and maintenance it, and I don't know. It wasn't for us. I know tons of people do it, but we've tried several different toilets now that we're also going to talk about in future videos. But this is what we use as a family of 5 all the time right now. It's super easy. We'll go more in depth later, but it just takes a liner, stays super clean. That thing's like waterproof and everything. You do your business in here, shut it, hit the flush button, it drops it down, and burns it and turns it into ash. So easy to dispose of. It's like sterile once it's all burned up, and you can just take the ash chamber, which looks kind of like a small mixing bowl. It's not big. You can dump that in the woods, in the garden, in a trash can, whatever you want to with it. And it's only a small, I mean, we're a family of 5. I empty it maybe like once every 5 days or so. Really not bad. But yeah, without any more on this, we won't get too in depth right now. We'll do that later. But I'll show you our shower. So this shower is what we use as a family of 5 daily. And it's kind of hard to get in here to see it, but it's just a 2-foot by 3-foot shower. It's more than enough for us. like I said, the tankless hot water heater makes all the difference. Like if you're living in a traditional home or something and you have a tanked hot water heater and you're limited to 50 gallons, or you're in an RV with a 6-gallon tank or something, do yourself a favor. Do whatever you have to do to switch to an instant on-demand tankless hot water heater. 5 people. I swear I'm the one that always showers last most of the time. Sometimes my wife, she lets me take a shower first if it's been a super rough day, but typically I like to let everyone else get done before me so they can relax and everything. So I'll take a shower last. And I swear to God, it takes like 2.5 hours for our 3 kids to take showers. I'm pretty sure they all get in here and they just like it. So we don't yell at them or anything. We just let them just wash away the worries from the day in here, but they'll be in there 20, 30 minutes. But it's okay. We get water out of the ground, so we don't pay for water, which is cool. So that's all free. And then the tankless hot water heater, I never worry about running out of hot water because anytime I get in, I have plenty. It's awesome. I'll stand in there for 20 minutes too and just let it all go. So yeah, trying to think. Got the Max Air fans. Everybody's seen those, like in other builds and stuff like that. Not a lot to cover there, but that's our shower. Again, like I said, I think I already said 2 feet by 3 feet. And it's enough for us. We love it. It's great. Small space. Got your bathroom here. Dimmer lights on everything. And boom, the ceiling. The ceiling, man. People love the ceiling, and we love the ceiling. So it's just a stick-on wallpaper. It's got 4 years of use. So in some spots, it's coming a little unsticky, but we love it. Like, it's what kind of inspired us to do this and all, was to get out, see nature, enjoy the outdoors and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, when we were relaxing in here and you're just like getting ready to fall asleep and you're looking up, looking at the stars without being outside and looking at the stars, I don't know, it just makes you feel good. And it's drawn a lot of attention. A lot of people have asked us about it, so I thought I'd highlight it. We love it. It is insulated. I guess I'll hit on that too. We have some different ideas for insulation. We did what a lot of people did when they built theirs, and we insulated between all of the wall studs and then covered those. And we have so many videos of me building, so maybe we'll post some of those just so you can see them if you want. But yeah, for our next build, spoiler alert, we have another one coming up very soon. We're excited, and we'll be walking through and posting the whole thing as we build it. We're going to do a little differently with the insulation because we have some cool new ideas and concepts that we hope will make these more efficient. And for a multitude of reasons. One, it allows us to boondock longer, go without recharging and stuff like that for longer. And then also just makes us, like, you know, better people for the environment, for not wasting a bunch of electricity. So yeah, let me look around real quick, see if there's anything I missed. Talked about that. Again, safety, we have our smoke detectors, we have our carbon monoxide alarm, we also have a gas leak detector. By the way, this is important. If you do one of these and you didn't know that there is a difference between a carbon monoxide detector and a gas leak detector, there is. I will be honest, I didn't know that when I first built it. Put a carbon monoxide detector in here, thought we were protected from a propane leak, but that does not detect propane, so you got to make sure you get your propane or a gas leak detector separately. Yeah, so that's our build. I hope you like it. If you do, definitely follow along with us because we want to meet and talk to a lot of people that enjoy this stuff. I could talk for days, so hit me up in the comments or send me a DM or whatever. I love talking about it. We'll answer questions online about it. And then also, like I said, soon, I don't know, maybe even tomorrow, we'll do one of our shed conversion. We'll hit on that. We'll hit on our outdoor space, a bunch of the different appliances that we're using, because we've had some really cool lessons learned with all of them. And we're excited to share that because we think that a lot of other people are interested in this lifestyle, but kind of like for us, there's no roadmap on how to go about doing it. And without that, you run into some obstacles and challenges, and that's what we've done over the past 10 months. So we're excited to share those lessons learned, and then that way, if you want to go off grid or take your family into a tiny living situation and try something new, like, you can. And I will say this before we go, it's fun. Like, it's an adventure every day. It's exciting. Life is no longer, I don't want to say boring, but life can get boring when you just go to the same job day in, day out and live in the traditional home. And this is fun. It's exciting. Like our kids love it. We were really worried when we first started that they were going to hate it, but they thrive out here. We get to take nature walks all the time. We see wildlife, and it's just simple. Like we've decluttered, we've gotten a lot of the crap out of our lives, and it's fun. So if you're interested, follow along. And if you're not, don't. But recommend it to somebody that is interested. Okay? Please do that. And I'll see you later.